Assalamu alaikum, inshallah you're well guys. So today I'm going to talk about tips on how to survive busy season or working busy periods in general, because I still use some of these tips even though I now work in industry. Let's be honest guys, no one likes working long hours, and if you don't utilize your time well during busy season, you will find the pressure grow on you quite quickly. The first tip is that you need to manage expectations, and that's from two perspectives, from both your social life and work life. You need to accept that you won't have the best social life during busy season, so be prepared to cancel non-essential events at short notice. But equally at the same time, that doesn't mean you have no social life, so you should also manage your manager's expectations as well. And that means having a frank conversation with them and explaining that over the next few weeks, here are the social events which I can't move. These are the things that I must attend. My teams over the years on numerous occasions have worked late to get the job done. And as a manager, I've always found that the best way to approach these situations is to have open channels of communication and communicate things well in advance. I should be giving my teams as much advance notice as possible, and they should be reciprocating with flexibility. And often when things don't go right, in my experiences, it's because managers haven't been clear and open with their communication. Now, some people would disagree with me. They will say that employees shouldn't work longer hours than contracted, and it's a sign of poor resource planning from an organization's perspective, which I do agree with to an extent. But my point back is that in my years of experiences of working in finance, I haven't come across many, if any, people who have progressed by simply doing a 9 to 5. The unfortunate truth is that in many industries outside of finance as well, you have to go the extra mile before you're recognized for promotion or with a pay rise. Linked to social life, make sure you're definitely reading, exercising, playing sports, going to the gym, whatever it is you do to unwind, because I've had it in the past where I've tried working 12 to 14-hour days without many breaks, and I'd say upon reflection, I was productive for, I'd say, around 50% of that time. However, if you take an hour out to step away, refresh and recharge, you'll find yourself being more productive. Again, another one of my experiences is that sometimes I face problems at work. I've been staring at the screen for a few hours trying to work it out, hit a brick wall, and then I've taken a break. I've gone for a walk, and the solution to that problem has come to me during the walk. Also, ensure you remove any distractions, the biggest one being your phone. Turn your notifications on silent, have a set time for having lunch, have a set time for reviewing your post. Remove all of those little distractions when you're working from home. Again, doesn't mean you don't check your phone at all, but have clear boundaries in place. Next tip is make sure you plan your work in advance. So a lot of people will say focus on one task at a time, which is right, you should, but at the same time, you should also be planning your time efficiently. As an example, say a client has sent you information which will take you around 3 hours to review. At the same time, you have to send out an information request for a different area of work to the client, which will take them around a day to prepare. In that instance, you should prioritize the information request list. You prepare that, send it to the client, and then whilst they're working on that, you perform a review of what they've already provided you and prepare your follow-up queries. If you don't plan efficiently, you can definitely end up with idle time and having to unnecessarily work long hours. To help plan your time, you can book slots in your diary for the work that you're doing. A good benefit of this is that it will help you prioritize tasks, and it will also take up time in your diary to prevent unnecessary meetings from being booked in. It also helps completing timesheets and gives your manager visibility of the work that you're doing. You should also ask for help when needed, because as a manager, during busy season, I'm going to be snowed under. So it's going to be very difficult for me to be forthcoming and support all members of the team. So it's upon you to take the initiative and ask for help when needed. Sometimes you may have to be demanding, because when you go to a manager and ask for help, a typical response can be, go and look at last year's file. But that will just waste a few hours, because you'll end up looking at files which you don't truly understand. Definitely have a Teams channel open where you can ping and ask for help, and it's worthwhile having an all-day call set up as well, so you can quickly jump on a call with a colleague and ask any questions you may have. When you ask for help, it's very important you understand what you're doing, because sometimes we ask for help and then someone just gives us a list of things to do, but we don't truly understand the why. Then when we face the same situation but with a slight variation, we struggle because we never truly understood the task in the first place. You may face some pushback from management, but definitely keep on asking questions until you're sure about what you're doing. And this is a common bit of advice I give to trainees all the time. It's easier to ask questions when you're new enrolled than when you become more experienced. Let me know of any more tips you have to help people survive busy season. As always, any questions or queries, please feel free to comment below or message me on Instagram.